Hey there, welcome back guys. This is going to be another video on the Pavo Pico version 2. How many videos can you do on the configuration of a drone? Actually, more than you can imagine. So you know you had the version 2 when the connector is there in the back, okay? And apparently there were some issues. So all my videos are done live when it comes to troubleshooting so that you can see, because a lot of times people are wondering, hey, what did you do? You know, it didn't work for me. So if it's happening live and you see it work, if it's not working for you, it could be one of many things. There are actually two videos. There's this video, which I actually cut into 30 minutes because the video that was live was a little bit long, and actually some viewers actually stopped in and, you know, to say hello and to share thoughts and other things. So if you want to see the original long version of the solution, feel free to click on the link. It's in the live section because that's where YouTube puts your live videos. And so basically, again, there are the issues with this, and thanks to Anthony from BetaFPV reached out to me and told me what to do. But then you were pretty much on your own with the rest because you have to go from one version of Betaflight to another before things actually allow you to bind and fly. And why that happens, I don't know. But again, this solution works. It's in real time, and the files are in GitHub too, in case. And if somebody's thinking like, why are the files up in GitHub? Because the not everyone can use 10.8, not everyone can use 10.9, and not everyone can use 10.10. So different users are having different experiences with different versions of Betaflight. For some it works, for some it downloads everything, for some it downloads some, for some it downloads something. But the configured firmware that actually works and is downloaded, you just need to make sure everything is seen in your Betaflight that is seen in the video, so that you know it actually works. And if you don't see certain elements which are gone, then maybe try a different version of Betaflight. But in this video, you'll see in the as you watch which versions of Betaflight are used, so just use those. And without any further ado, let's have a look and see how we fix this in real time live. We are going to be live soon again with the Pavo Pico nightmare drone. Sort of a nightmare, right? When it works, it works. When it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I actually reached out to the folks at BetaFPV, and they got back to me with a possible solution. Let's see what they say. Oops. We'll go into, what's the name of the app? Oops. Quit Opera. I actually tried the solution in Opera, but that didn't work. I'm just making sure the mic is all right, because if the mic is covered, the sound comes in muffled. So some people put it under there, sure. I guess if you're talking, but the sound comes from your larynx, so I don't know if it travels that far down. But all I know is that if it's not exposed, the audio doesn't come in as loud. All right, so what was I going to do? We're going to go into my mail. If it opens, if it loads. Proton Mail was having an issue before. It's a really cool free email. I think I might have to, of course, DJI is shipping my new replacement, what do they call it? Replacement camera. I'm not really crazy about it. I mean, hopefully this one's a better one. It kept overheating. They sent me, that's from BetaFPV. That's one email. There should be another one in here though. Was it that one? Anthony's really helpful. All right, so here, this will be helpful. In addition to, so right down here, actually let me activate another feature, mouse pose, really nice for when you're doing online tutorials. There's actually a course I have up on Udemy for if anyone's interested in web development. All right, so let's see if it works. Yep, there we go. So mouse pose is working. See where Anthony writes, in addition, Betaflight version 1.9.0 configurator has a bug in the locally loaded firmware. Please use 10.8.0 configurator. I presume that's what the rest says. And there was an issue. I don't know if you saw my last video. I actually looked on Reddit, had a possible solution for the display port the MSP, which is missing, which you'll see. There was one solution, but their solution didn't work in Reddit. The solution is coming up. I'll show you. So actually, we can close that window. And of course, we can close that window. And before we go live, why don't we just make sure that we are live. As you know, I don't know if any other guys have recorded YouTube videos. We're live. You can see myself right there. Sometimes you think you're live or you're recording and your mic's not working, or something else. You forgot to press record, which I have done. And all right, so this was my configurations that are working now. All right, so according to BetaFPV, we have to use configurator 2, I think is 0.9. This one is 10, and now I have 8. I have like so many different versions. It sucks that you have to use different versions of the software to get your drone up and running, right? Again, I'll probably throw another one of these up in GitHub, because again, people are reaching out to me saying, hey man, thanks, this is great. And other people are like, yo, it's not working. I don't know. Well, I know is that's why now I'm going live, so that you could see it working. And if it's not working, it's either your Betaflight or the firmware, right? Or your computer. Some computer operating systems can't handle it, or stuff is missing. I remember stuff was missing in my firmware that I just had to add it manually. That's why the other version's up there that's working. And then, anyway, let's move forward. So we got to use Betaflight. See right here on the top left-hand corner, it says 10.8.0. Okay? And let me just... and in case you're wondering which streaming software we're using, it's OBS Studio. Awesome open source, not open sauce, open source. You open the can of sauce, but this is source, open source software. And it's great. These developers put this together just for you. There's no subscription, no annual fee, and you just download and use it. They do ask to contribute, but even if you give, on that note, I almost quit the live stream. All right, so even if you give $1 goes a long way, or whatever, but not to me, but to them. All right, so we're using Betaflight 10.8. See that? Right here in the top. All right, and then what you're going to do is you're going to click Update Firmware. All right, and you might get a spinning beach ball or something, and sometimes it takes a while to load. Why, I don't know. You're going to select Auto Detect. Now there are two versions of this. One's going to be from Betaflight, running it from the source, and the other one's going to be one that's filed already configured. It's working for some. If it's not working for you, just go to this method. So this is method 2. How many methods do you have to come up with to get your drone up and running? Okay, so now we're going to click Load Firmware Online. So it's going to load, right? It's going to pull it, and as you can see in the top here, BetaFPV 405, right? And BEFH 4.2 version, Betaflight 4.4.2, right? And the stem 32F405.hex, that's the file. And unfortunately, I don't know why they only put version 4.4.2 online, so you can just download it. You have to do it through here, okay? And then you see here's the config target. So now you did all that. We're going to click Flash Firmware. All right, so it should do all the magic that it needs to do. Make sure you have a battery handy for your Pavo Pico. I have 2. Hopefully I don't need to, but I like flying it in here. Work on your skills for if you ever want to fly in an abandoned building. I think I will. My first flight will probably be with the Avata, because you can somewhat control it. I've seen some videos of folks flying indoors without a problem. When I have my Avata inside, it just goes left, it goes right, it goes jumping in all different directions. Hopefully, we don't see our screen there. Let's see if we can get Reflector up and running. Reflector is another, it's a paid program. So let's get Reflector up and running. Interesting. Let's just do a force quit. Not really a force quit. Reflector should load. Reflector 4. Where's our other window? Is it down there? No. All right, so we'll just do a force quit. Sometimes that happens. Things get buggy, right? And then what we'll do is we'll launch Reflector again. This way you'll be able to see the drone launching. And it's done wirelessly, the reflector. That's how it works. Except, whoops. It's kind of like a screen sharing app. It's going to spit up a code. The code regenerates all the time, kind of like if you ever use Salesforce. You need a key to get in, and if you don't have the key, it changes every, I don't know, 1 minute. 8654. 8654. Now we should see it. Now if I go to camera, yep, go to video. Kind of neat, huh? And you don't have to attach any cable to it. It just streams wirelessly, which is awesome. I think, here, I'll show you guys in case you're wondering. Whoops. Can you see? That's weird. Oh, because I'm looking at myself in there when I should be showing it here. Yeah, see, look, no cables. I actually decided to use the, there we go. Well, whoops. There. And then I'll put this back, lower it down. I'm not crazy about a lot of this is the Osmos stand, which is okay. It's fair. You have to time it because there's a battery life expectancy. What I used in the last video was this one. It's a little simple, really simple, and it gives you all. You can do lower if you want to record lower. If you can do that way. With this one, you're limited. This is where it stops, which is why I never use it ever. See, that's it. That's as far down as it goes, which kind of sucks because it should go all the way down. Especially if you want to do a soldering video, you can't do it with this one. Okay. So I'll just zoom in a little bit. You can also zoom in from there too. I believe the zoom function is, it's not zoom. Oh, this is the zoom. Oh, but you can't use the zoom feature unless you're using the DJI app. So it's a little bit exclusive that way, which is fine. No big deal. All right, so sorry about that. Stay focused. All right, so here we are. So I'm going to put that here. So you see the firmware, programming successful. All right, so now I'm going to click connect. Okay. All right, move this out of the way. So you're going to see an error. See what it says here? The following problems with your configurator were detected. The version of the configurator that you are using, 10.8, is older. And yeah, it is older, and that's what BetaFPV suggests to do. So now what happens is when I go here, if I go to ports, let me just bring this down a little bit. And if I go to, let me just make sure this is working since I was screwing around with the other one. Yep, it is. All right. When you go to ports, see, you have, oh, wow, it's nice that it's already there. Port 4, right? And then I'm going to go over it because for some folks it's gone, it's not there, and for other folks it's there. As you can see, I just flashed the firmware, and so why it's there, I don't know. But usually by default, 3 is on, or in the serial RX. So you would shut 3 off, 4 is on, and then UART 5 is there. And then if you go to here, the peripherals, go all the way across, right there. You have black box, VTX, IRC, camera, Benzware, and then OSD. You're like, wait, where's the MSP, right? It's not there. And you know why? They don't tell you this part. So now what you're going to do is you're going to close Betaflight, right? Just close it out and make sure it's quitted, right? And then once it's quitted, you go into, then you're going to open up Betaflight 10. Okay, so there's no need to add this in the CLI, just because there was a solution in Reddit you saw in the beginning that said someone said to notes. Oops. Someone in Reddit suggested to do this, to paste this in, right, and that didn't work. Because it's just not, it doesn't show up until you load Betaflight 10. So now look, you see here on the top left-hand corner, see, Betaflight 10.10. All right, so now when we click connect, I'll move this out of the way. That's so weird. And the last time I had it up here and it worked out really well. Maybe I'll make this smaller. Nope, can't. It's as small as that's going to get. All right, so I'll move this here. So if I go to ports, right, and now if I go to UART4, go all the way over. Let me just bring this down. Yeah, that works better. If I go to UART4, see, VTX MSP is there. And it's not there in 10.8. So now I can click save and reboot. Okay, and now I'm going to connect again to the ports. See, it's working now, it's saved. Battery power, we didn't touch anything there. Presets, don't touch anything there. If you don't see the presets, it's because you have a firewall on. I believe mine is disabled because it calls back, okay? PID tuning, I did change something in here, especially if I'm going to be flying inside. I'm not the rate guy, but these are the rates that worked for me in particular. So let's change that to 40. I think it was 50 the last time. I can't remember, but I'm going to do 40. Oops. 40. I'm not sure why that keeps doing that. 400. 400. 400. And then here was 0.22, 22, 22, 22, oops. And then someone had suggested the throttle limit suggestion to put at 75. I'm not going to do it now because I'm not sure what it will do, but you know what, hey, why not? What's the worst that could happen, right? My next video is going to be on spackling the walls. I'm like, hey, welcome back, guys. Today's video, we're going to be spackling. From all the times you crashed a drone in the house and your family members say, what the fuck? Why is there a scuffed hole in the wall? All right, save it. All right, so we did that. I think this one would be 50. Yeah, let's do 50. 50. 50. I can't remember what the base settings were. All right, so that's that. Receiver, that's fine. The only way to test the receiver is to plug it in and then test it out from there. But here, in case you're wondering, A-E-R-T, right? So here, that's over here, A-E-R-T. And if I guess if your order is different, you would just put something else. But there's more an in-depth version. Scenario involved in this where if you really want to fix it, you can either reverse it or go into the CLI. And maybe we'll do that in another video. But oh man, what the hell just happened? See, this is another reason why I don't use this thing. Oh, because the battery's dying. See that? Another DJI product. But what do I do? Plan B. Where things get just revert to old school style. All right, I'll fix that in a second. One before the yeah, and that was fully charged. I guess the internal battery isn't doing so well. All right, so now that we have that, we go to modes. Right, modes. I'm going to throw up another file in the GitHub repository, but this should work. So again, this was in here in Betaflight 10 and Betaflight 8. You might see something different. But these settings are here, 1000 to 1500. But remember, this is for the DJI receiver. So these settings might not work for you. So you might have to reconfigure all this if you don't use the DJI, or if you don't set your throttle correctly, your reading's going to be different. But as long as there's no throttle error inside the goggles, you're fine. If you see a goggle error on the right hand side of your screen, then it's a little bit different. The drone will still launch, but you just have to fix it. Maybe I'll do another video for that once I figure out how to fix mine. I fixed mine yesterday, but then after reloading the firmware, it was gone again. It didn't save, but the drone will still load. So aux5 for the beeper, which is going to be here, and that's working now. It wasn't working in the last video because I figured I just let it beep all the time. But some folks are probably wondering how to shut it off. So we have this to shut off. Flip over after crash still works, has a back button, so it'll bring everything back. And like when the text shows up on the screen after you crash your drone, there are some metrics that appear. All right, we'll just save that. I guess we can quit mouse pose because this is not the, I think it's not the paid version, because every time you click on something, it's like mouse pose. And I do have the paid version, but for some reason, it just keeps saying that. All right, so now we're going to turn on this. I like to turn on the receivers first, so that it's already at the stage it needs to be when looking for something, you know, like all operating system when it loads up before it reaches the point where it's actually in bind mode. It needs to get there. So then I turn everything on. Okay. And then, of course, I gotta... This is a really good one, though. I was actually thinking of getting another one that will go all the way down, like a $10. You know, this one, for some reason, this doesn't, as you can see, when it works, but it doesn't go all the way down. So, on that note, we will... And no, this one's really good. The only downside to this one is that it tilts, like if there's too much weight at the base, which would be, you know, if you tilt it all the way like that, then it starts to tip over. But I love it because it just works. There's no problems. You see how it's about to tilt, so I have to bring it down just a little bit, or just, you know what, maybe bring in this a little bit more, which isn't a bad idea because this way I can reach it and land it right there. But other than that, yeah, sometimes the best isn't always the best. I was like, oh wow, that's so cool, but it won't go all the way down. I can't record a soldering video with it. All right, so we'll bring that like that. But I want this to be so that you guys can see, right, when we record the video of the drone taking off, you know, because you probably want to see it in the air. All right, so that's that. As you saw, we just flashed everything. Had a little bit of a malfunction over there. I have this because I'm going to connect it to the phone so that you can see what errors I get, right? Again, it's still looking for everything, which is fine. Once the drone takes off, then I'll connect it to the phone. Too bad you can't do that wirelessly. So now I'm going to put the battery in. The newer one has a Velcro strap on it, which is really cool. So we're just going to put this like this, put it in. And you see it's beeping because I have the beeps on. If you're wondering how to get your beeps on, what you would do is you would go into configuration, I believe it was. And then, oh wow, nice, okay. Something just bound, so I'm running out of time. And just turn these things on, right? I forget which one, arming. Anyway, you turn it on. I turn them all on and then do a process of elimination so I know which ones I want, which ones I don't want. But on that note, remember we don't have a lot of time because I don't have GPS, RX set. I don't have GPS, so you know, you don't need to do that one. Ready beep, arm beep, this beep, system beep, all the beeps, USB beep. I just, you know, you can shut them all off, crash, flip, beep, and then I'll show you how it works. And then you decide which ones you want. Okay, so let's say I'm going to, oh, and then you have your arming, you have the different fail safes that appear here. Hopefully we don't have any. If we do, nice throttle. Okay. And sometimes if you get a bad throttle error, you'll have to reset it. So here we are. Here's the drone here and there. We're live. Might have to take the battery out and put it in again. And now, yeah, I think the battery has to come out and in again. Actually, let's see if it'll load first. Nope. Okay, so let's try again. That was 10.8. So now we're gonna put this in. Put that there. It's beeping, which is good. The motors are moving a little bit. You know, it does that beep, beep, beep. And then we'll turn this on. Well, this is already on. It just needs to bind. Okay. And no. Interesting. Let's see what we got here. Crash switch. Oh, it's an angle mode, which is fine. Let's see what happens if we do this. Yep, it's working. Well, it says armed. Battery full. Yes, so now it's working. So I just needed a little glitch. I'll show you the errors that I get in my screen, but let's see if we can. Alexa, continue. Oops. Alexa, volume 5. Can I hear that? Let's see what errors we got. Oh, so I'll show you how the back button works. Alexa, volume 6. Alright, so we're gonna connect this so that you guys can see. Alexa, volume 5. I think 5 is a better volume. Okay. So I'm going to launch the, what's it called? DJI? DJI. Like this is a Fly app, I believe? I forget. It's been a while since I used it. Oh. Go Fly. Oh, there we go. Nice. Alright, so, oh no, there are no errors. There was an error before. So what happens is with the back button, I don't know what you guys call it. The pros might say, what the fuck's that guy talking about? The back button. I call it the back button. So when I press it, you see, it just works. And then see crash flip, disappears. This, and then if I want to beep, you hear that? I have this button for the beep. Beep stop. Except I don't know which where it's recording. I think it's recording from here. And now we have here, and it should arm. See, it said armed. And then sometimes that doesn't work, so I go back again. Oh wait, if it doesn't work, I have to. There we go. It's working. See? And then Alexa, stop. We thank you for flying DJI Abada. Alright, so that got that right. It's kind of neat, huh? So there you have it. That pretty much sums it up. Hopefully this is the last video in the series of the Pavo Pico, and we can get to building the new one from scratch. But version 2, of course, because that's the, I believe, the chip that I was sent, which is down there. And if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them down below, or ideas for other videos. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.